All right, Raider Nation, I hope you guys had a great week off over in the bye week last week. We didn't lose. All right, guys, I want to go ahead and get started with a couple of things. We're going to go ahead and talk about injuries from the news. I will be addressing some of the Davante stuff, although I think that's just been beat to a pulp now. So I'm just going to give just a couple of thoughts on my end. I'm just going to go ahead and move forward with that. We're getting closer to the trade deadline. We're going to go over, a couple of rumors that I've seen going around, some people that I think I would personally go for, maybe something that makes sense, maybe something that doesn't, just, a couple of opinions as well. All right, so looking at our injuries coming up this week, not too many. We see that Jayon Brown, Mac Hollins, Foster Moreau, and Darren Waller were on the injury report. Brown, Hollins, and Foster were actually limited today, so they were out in the field. The one that stuck out a little bit was Darren Waller. I thought he was going to be good to go after they pulled him from that KC game, but it looks like that hamstring is still bothering him, so he did not participate today. I was reading some other comments, and I'm going to go ahead and share it right here. It kind of looks like he's not going to be able to go. Seems that it might not be long term, but it is bothering him this week, so we might be getting a heavy dose of Foster Moreau if he's good to go. So excited to see him go. I don't think we've seen him too much this year, but he is a great pass catcher, and I think he can block just a little bit better than Darren Waller, although Waller has been getting better at blocking. Not having to depend on Horsted too much would be great. Foster's coming back, that's a great sign to see. And as we all know, the Tuesday after the KC loss, Nate Hobbs posted on his Instagram saying that he did break his hand. I found it a little bit curious because I did see on one of the plays that they were doing a replay on, he had this big old club on him. It is confirmed he did break one of his bones on his hand. So they actually did put him on the IR, which actually broke my heart a little bit. So he will be out for the next 4 weeks. Thankfully, we are getting a couple of people back. Anthony Averett is actually back in practicing today after being in IR for the first 4 weeks. As you guys remember, he broke his thumb in week 1. So because Nate Hobbs is no longer going to be playing with us for the next 4 weeks, we did sign a DB by the name of Tevon Campbell to the practice squad, and we subsequently released Bryce Cosby. Kind of just seems like he's going to be there for the practice squad, and we might have to elevate him if Averett doesn't seem to be good to go. But I'm hoping that's not the case. He still needs a couple of weeks, in my opinion, to get adjusted to this new defensive scheme. So hopefully we won't be seeing him too much. So I'm gonna say that we're gonna be seeing a lot of Brock Yasin, Anthony Averett, Amik Robertson is gonna be out there too, along with Sam Webb. So excited to see those guys. The latter two are a little bit younger, so we're gonna see a little bit of growing pains. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but we'll see how that goes. In other news, yes, we're gonna address the whole Davante Adams situation. According to Adam Schefter, quote unquote, with misdemeanor assault charges being filed against the Raiders' Davante Adams, his case now falls under the NFL's personal conduct policy, which waits for the legal process to play out. While it does, Adams will be able to continue to play, including Sunday versus the Texans. All that really means to me, guys, is that once this whole legal procedure is over with, the NFL is probably going to suspend Adams for a game. Knowing the NFL and the commissioner and all those guys, it's probably going to be one of the key games that we absolutely need him. So be on the lookout for an NFL suspension on Davante Adams, either against probably the Chargers, or it's probably going to be against KC at home. At the end of the day, when the whole Davante Adams situation, in my opinion, it was a shitty situation. Both of them were at fault, to be honest with you. I don't think the cameraman should have been running in front of him. But also at the end of the day, Davante shouldn't have shoved him. This whole lawsuit thing obviously is just a money grab, just how everyone, in the media has been saying it lately. I kind of respect that, but obviously if you're a fan of this team, you don't respect that because you don't want to see anyone suspended. But at the end of the day, Davante did what he did. It was wrong. The cameraman, he shouldn't have done what he did as well. So it was just kind of a bad place, bad time situation. But, hopefully there's going to be no suspensions coming up with this. So, we'll see how that goes. All right, as we all know, the trade deadline is November 1st. So obviously we're going to be in the mix of all of this, especially since we're not at 100%. and it seems that we're trying to move away from the Gruden era. According to Dov Kleiman, the Raiders have talked to other NFL teams about trading away their former first-round picks, safety Jonathan Abram and defensive lineman Cleveland Farrell. As of right now, Abram is the one that's generating the most interest, which kind of makes sense, to be honest with you, because he's been out in the field a lot more than Clee. In my opinion, I don't think we have the depth to be replacing him. And I mean, to be honest with you, who's going to be replacing on? I mean, I really can't think of another box safety or another D lineman. Our D line is already trash as it is, so taking one of these guys out is just going to make it even worse. Although I am personally okay with Cleveland being traded away, I honestly don't want to see Jonathan Abram gone. I know he does have his faults; he can't cover, but he definitely delivers the hit. He delivers the stick. It looks like he loves to be a Raider, so that's one of the reasons why I would like to keep him. I think he's a really good guy. Maybe not the best football player, but at the end of the day, when it comes to these first round draft picks, it's kind of like a crapshoot. It's kind of like 50-50. Not all of them have to work out. Unfortunately for us, we don't seem to draft well at all, so it just kind of seems that every single one that we have picked up recently, not named Josh Jacobs, hasn't really worked out for us. I've also seen some of the people that we are currently tied to or might have generated some interest with is going to be DB William Jackson III from the Washington Commanders. Kind of a shitty situation when it comes to them. That defensive scheme led by Jack Del Rio is playing more of a zone defense, and he doesn't really excel at that. He wants to be playing in a defense that's going to be more of a man-to-man, which is exactly what we play. Me personally, I would probably go for it if we can trade for him and get give away some draft picks, maybe like maybe a third, fourth, fifth, something like that. And if we can get him, I would absolutely pull the trigger on that. Especially with Nate Hobbs being injured, I think having another corner and someone that's going to be a little bit more dependable than everyone else that's been getting injured this year is going to be beneficial to us. And I mean, honestly, he's still on his rookie contract, so I think he has another 2 more years before we actually, if we were to get him. Some other people that we are tied to is going to be, and this is according to Raider Scout, he's pretty reliable when it comes to some of these rumors, but until I actually see sources from like a Rappaport, Schefter, things like that, then I'm probably not going to believe it until I actually see it. But as of right now, according to Raider Scout, we are currently also tied to Jets DB Bryce Hall, the Bears and former Raider as well, Nicholas Morrow, and the Giants cornerback Julian Love. It kind of seems to me that we're kind of just kicking the tires, which is actually great to see that we're actually being active compared to other years. I don't know who exactly we might be able to land, if it's even worth it, to be honest with you. It's kind of hard to tell because we don't really have a good sense of how this new front office drafts, because the first 2 picks, obviously went to Davante Adams this year. Although the 3rd round pick, Dylan Parham, has been excelling over in the run coverage, and he looks like he's going to be a good corner piece for for his future with us in Las Vegas. Another person that we're actually tied with is another former Raider, and that's going to be Patriots wide receiver Nelson Agholor, according to Jeremy Fowler. I personally don't think we need this, to be honest with you. I think our wide receiver core is good, especially with Turner also coming back this week from IR. So I would probably stay away from Nelson Agholor. Also, you guys have to realize that first stint that he was with us, I think he was only getting like the vet minimum, which is like maybe $1.5 million. If we were to trade for him, we would be losing draft capital. And I think his salary is about like $4.5 million this year. So I don't know, to me, it just doesn't make sense, especially if we've already spent so much money on that offense. I think our main focus should be, attacking that defense. I believe we truly need a, defensive tackle, another defensive end, and obviously a corner or, any kind of secondary. Now, if it was up to me, I would be taking the LA Rams route and be trading away, like my 1st round draft pick. I would absolutely send Carolina my 1st round draft pick of next year for JC Horn. I think that would be a good even exchange, and it also gives us an opportunity to, have another cornerstone in the defense, another lockdown corner alongside Nate Hobbs when he's back. We can figure out, the rest of the positions after, but having those 2 guys and build that defense around them, I think that'll be great. He's also on his rookie contract as well, so he's not costing too much. I think we need to worry about that contract later on, but with some trades and stuff like that, looking at you, Waller, with some trades, I think we can make this thing work. So another person that I would actually go for in the Carolina Panthers is going to be the defensive end Brian Burns, he is absolutely lighting it up too. So I would probably throw in like maybe like a second or third round draft pick for him if he's available, or if Carolina's even able to consider that. And along with Williams over in the Commanders, the defensive tackle, I cannot remember his first name, but his last name is Payne. He is someone that we should actually be looking at too. I'm not too sure what the Commanders might be willing to take for him, but I would probably toss him anywhere from like a 4th, 5th, 6th round draft pick of next year, maybe maybe another like 3rd or 4th, the following year for him. He's been having a really good year so far. I'll go ahead and post the stats. Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, that was it for today. I want to say thank you so much for, checking this video out. I know it's a little bit shorter, but I kind of want to put these shorter videos out in the middle of the week. That way my recap aren't like 20, 30 minutes long, because I've been getting some feedback and, people are telling me that this kind of like 10, 15 minute format is a good one to, get that, information, give you guys my thoughts. So please remember to subscribe and hit the like button. I'm trying to hit 20 followers by the end of this month. I got about 10 more days. So, little goals like that will help me, kind of keep me motivated and, keep pumping out this, this content here. Once again, thank you so much. I'll go ahead and see you guys in a couple of days.